The people who have settled in Judea and Samaria have long been viewed as pioneers who have withstood international pressure to settle the biblical heartland of Israel. But they have also been leaders in faith. Faced with enormous challenges, they have stood fast because of their faith in God and in His Word.
We returned to this place because Abraham lived here. Our destiny, our job in the modern era is to bring life back to the place that our forefathers once used to live, and we are here to continue their life. Susia is located in Mount Hebron, and that's the reason that I chose to live in Susia.
We had some very, very traumatic experiences on Itamar itself here. We have, unfortunately, 14 people were killed, or in the yeshuv, or around the yeshuv, that live here in Itamar. When you go to the synagogue to pray on Shabbat, for example, you can see, unfortunately, instead of sitting next to children that have fathers, you see orphans all over the shul, all over the synagogue.
We have a particular family where the wife was killed by terrorists, the husband became a cripple, and his daughter became a cripple, and they still live there, and he's remarried, and he's happy.
When I think of what happened here 30 years ago and what the results are today, I can say that I saw it all in my eyes then. I felt that we were sent by the Jewish nation to open a wide gate for masses of Jews, for many Jews to return to where we most belong to.
Our presence here serves a mission for life. This is a life mission. A life mission to build Eretz Israel, the land of Israel, to build the settlements here, to build the present and the future of the people of Israel.
You cannot set up a Jewish state after 2,000 years and maintain it without an ideology. Places like Hebron, places like Joseph's tomb, places like Rachel's tomb, the places that, if you will, justify our existence now are going to be beyond a fence that Jews cannot reach. We are the only people in the world who can point to a building and say our founders are buried there 4,000 years ago. Nobody in the world can make that statement.
And if a Jew can't live in the land that was ordained to him by God, our birthright, our gift from God, then where else is he supposed to live?
In 2 years from now, I believe that we will be here, and I'm going to believe with all my heart, because believing and saying that you're going to stay has tremendous effect in the upper world. And God forbid anything would ever happen, we would know how to deal with it, and we know how to get back on our feet again and come back again.
We live our daily lives as best as we can, and we travel back and forth through areas that aren't particularly friendly, right? But at the same time, we look forward to the future. To be a Jew living in the Holy Land means to live on those levels of consciousness. I also won't be here 100 years from now, right? But I like to think that Karnei Shomron will be here. It will be much bigger, so I work toward that myself. And that's why I have children living here, and I have grandchildren living here. We have three generations on this hill.
People on earth can say whatever they want, but God orchestrates it from on top.
We do believe that our little action in this little community does something to bring the Jewish destiny to its correct and right place.
Our major job every day is to try to figure out how we should behave in accordance of our understanding of God's will. And I think if God acts through history, and we have a Jewish state that started with 600,000 people surrounded by enemies, and now has 6 million people surrounded by the same enemies, I think we must be doing something right.
Maybe this is part of the way that we have to bring the Messiah, that going through this very hard experience for us. But in no way, I mean, we know that there is someone who directs the whole business. And we have faith that whatever he is doing, this is for our own good.
I feel very often that God is taking us as a father takes his children hand by hand. And even when we stumble, I don't feel, even in the stumbling, that we are alone. At no point do I feel any despair. You see more than 250,000 Jews living on these hills. And believe me, when we started, we couldn't be sure that our children and grandchildren will continue in our footsteps. These days we see the success, that our children walk in the path, in the road, up the hill that we have marked a generation ago.